Good morning, everyone. I'm Cynthia for Artbeads Cafe, and I have Sherry with me today.
Hi, everybody.
So this is an Artbeads Cafe live, and we have to say we almost thought we couldn't make it today. We have a huge snowstorm here in Washington, and especially in our area, it's not normal. So we were stuck for a few days. We made it today, but I want to warn everyone, if for a while the connection is going away, it could happen because we have a lot of people that don't have power here. Don't worry, we have another camera that's shooting this whole episode, so we can post on Facebook and we can post on YouTube this whole video. So if we lose you, please come back later. We will have the video probably later this afternoon on YouTube and on Facebook. So today we're very excited because we are showing you how to do the peyote ring. And I've been doing this peyote ring for a while. I love them. And I started with the simple 8 art. And then I went to treasures, and then I went to Aiko seed beads. Oh, the Aiko seed beads are so perfect to do those peyote rings. So we're gonna show you exactly how to do from the beginning. We won't be able to finish the ring because for me to make a ring like that with the Aiko, it takes me between 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So we won't be able to do the whole thing, but I will show you how to connect the two pieces together. Okay, so let's show you what we have. And hi to everyone joining us.
Emily says, hi ladies. Lisa says, hi from Empire, Michigan.
Wow.
Meredith says, Aiko seed beads are fantastic.
Yay.
They are
so smooth.
great. Yes. So this is the design that we're going to do today, but I wanted to show you what kind of design you can do. I mean, look at this. Those are with 8 arts. Those are with treasures. Here I have some more, and you can make them even smaller. This is a smaller band. So a lot of my band are for the middle finger, but you can make them smaller for the other fingers. Then I have so many, I mean, I don't stop making them. And we can go to what Sherry here.
It is beautiful. Oh, so many different color possibilities, right?
Yes.
So pretty. I love these.
You too. And the last one, Sherry, this one, I use in the middle some Swarovski 2mm pearl, crystal pearl.
Love that. I love how it just stands out just a little bit.
Yeah.
But otherwise fits really well.
It fits very well.
Beautiful.
I have one more question. Can everyone hear us nicely?
Yeah, Katie said it's quiet, but she is asking if everyone else can hear fine or not. If not, I will take this microphone out. I think the phone microphone will be better.
Okay. Well, we try to speak louder too. Okay. So this is the same pattern. I have 3 rings here. They are exactly the same pattern. This is made with an 11 art TOHO round bead. This one is made with the treasures, TOHO treasures, and this one is made with the Aiko, TOHO Aiko bead. And I wanted to show you exactly the same size, but the difference in them. Isn't that amazing?
It is, yeah.
Everyone's saying they can hear fine, but they do hear the sandpaper sound. We've got some construction going on here, so I apologize for that.
I'm sorry. Yes. And then what I like to do in my ring is in the back. You see how it's all plain? The reason is because when I start a design, I don't want to start with the design right away. It makes things too complicated, and I like to make things very simple.
Right, for piecing it together, right? You don't have to
Exactly.
match up the patterns in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then if the rings that we have on our site are too small, then you can just add some of those rows of just plain one color bead. It's much easier for sizing your beads, your rings too. So So I'm going to show you, I'm going to demo with those 11 arts because they're much bigger than the Aiko. But Sherry, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sherry has some
I'm going to be
Aiko,
doing some
right?
Aikos here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
So I have the pattern here, and Becky is turning and trying to get to us. So I have my pattern here, and you can find this on our website. But so I use some graph paper, and I just do, I can show you a copy here. I just do first with some crayons, and then I start coloring it much better. But it all starts with just a graphic paper. And like here, what I like to do is have some few rows with just one color bead. So, and on these rings, those are odd count. Peyote rings. And the reason is because I like making those designs here. And to be able to do those designs, you need an odd count because you need one bead here in the middle, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 in here. So for patterns like that, you always need to do a odd count.
Yeah, otherwise with an even count, you would have a seam down the middle
Exactly.
instead, and you wouldn't have that nice point.
Yes, and I want to say, I say all the time, but I was lying a little here.
Ginny's asking what size needle and what type of stringing material.
Okay, so the needle that I have, it's a tulip needle. I love those tulip. It's a size 12, number 12, which means that the eye of the needle is very, very fine. And I like it because I tend to pull on my thread too much, and then my thread, it's coming out of my needle. But I know that Sherry prefers 11.
Yeah, 11's kind of my go-to size, and then if I find I can't get my needle through smaller beads, I'll switch up to a 12 later.
Right. So 12 is the one that I like. You can go with a 10, also number 10. So that means the bigger the number, the smaller the eye of the needle. And then the thread that I like using is the 1G thread because it goes so well with the bead, the color of the beads. The TOHO beads. So I use this quite a lot, and I really like their system also, how to keep the thread inside so it doesn't get dirty, and then you just pull what you need.
Love that package.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really smart.
It is really small. And the tulip needles too, I love that it's in the little valve like that, so I keep it in there. They're safe in here. But today I'm choosing a red thread because I really want you to be able to see my thread. So it wouldn't be the color that I would chosen. Because it's black, I would have taken the black 1G, but for you to see it better, I'm choosing red. Okay. I was saying before, for this type of rings, you always need to do odd count, but here I did one with an even count, and what I did is I did a border here, and then inside those two rows here, it's odd count. So that's why I was able to do those waves like that. Okay, so let's start. So I have my design here. I hope you can see. And to know how many beads you need to thread first, you just count. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 11 beads here. And what you do, so you string 11 beads, and that means also you're stringing the 2 first rows. And I know it sounds really weird. I mean, even for me still now, I'm still like, really 2 rows? But yes. So let's just thread 11 beads. So.
And this is of the background color, whatever the background
so we're
choice
starting
is, right?
with the background here. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 11, okay. I had to switch in French because counting, it's always better in French. Okay, let me count again. 3 and 3 and 3. Okay, I got 11. And then I bring all my beads to my bead stopper. So I like using a bead stopper because I can hold my thread easier, and then it's kind of reminding you where the tail is, and you will see why. So now I have 11 beads. So I'm gonna start here. I'm here, right? So I'm gonna start by adding a bead. So I'm gonna grab a bead. So this is what you do for Peyote Stitch. And of course at the beginning it's always tricky, but with practice you will get it. So I have a bead on my needle. I'm skipping a bead and I go to the next one. So I bring my needle to the next bead and I'm putting on my thread, and the bead should make a T, and you see how it's not really level, but that's okay. I'm just gonna correct that with my fingers and you have a little T right there.
Sherry's asking what size beads are you using, and are they delicas?
Those are TOHO 11 art, the TOHO round 11 art. But like I said, my favorite is the Aiko, which Sherry is using. And the Aiko, the Aiko,
Sorry about that.
that was scary. The Aiko are so perfect. All the beads are perfectly square. They just, I have no words to say how I just love working with these because they're so smooth and really perfect to work with. So I picked up another bead here. I skip a bead and I go to my next one. Like that. So you see how the beads are kind of, they're not lining up nicely, so you just, with your fingers, you can put everything in place. So here I'm just trying to get my T, kind of went away there.
Karen's asking, can you use Fireline?
You could, I mean, for Peyote Stitch, yes. I never tried Fireline with my ring, so I'm not sure how it will go. Fireline will be a little stiffer, so maybe that's why I tend to do with the beading thread. Again, I have one bead here, skip that bead and go to the next one. Sherry, you're already done.
I'm surprised too because these are so tiny.
I know, the Aiko is great.
But,
they are small.
yeah.
Okay, I've got a bead on my needle. I skip that bead and I go to the second one. Grab a bead, skip a bead and go to the second one. But now you can see that I have 3 beads left, and this is what's happening when you do an odd count. So normally what I will do is skip a bead, go to my next bead, but I have this bead too, so I'm gonna go to the last 2 beads. Okay, so this is how you do for odd count. And I like to pull on my thread because I like my work to be tight. So I have one bead here that's kind of crooked, so at the bottom here too. So I'm just gonna push with my nails here and there and try to make everything go well. There we go, that should be okay. Now I'm gonna take my bead stopper out because I think it's going in my way. There we go. So I'm pulling on my tail and I'm pulling here, and look at everything looks straight now. So now I need to place a bead here. So I'm gonna take a bead and then I'm gonna go through. So you have the first bead here. I'm gonna go through the second bead and the bead that is on the left side. I hope everyone can see that. Okay, so you see where it is, and then maybe if I put it here you can see better. So my thread is coming out of that bead. I'm going to go through the bead that is on the side, the bead that is on the middle, and the bead that is at the beginning here on the left.
It's sort of a crisscross.
A crisscross,
Mhm.
yes. Oops. There we go. So now I have my thread going out at the same, out of the beads where my tail is. So you should, and then what I want to do is I want to be ready to add a bead here. So I'm going to go through the bead on the right. And I like to tie up everything like that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sherry, can we see yours? Because I want to see show the difference with the Aiko, how everything
Okay,
is so
flip
neat
it
and
back.
perfect.
So, there. Aren't they cute?
Yes.
So even and
Yes.
tight together, yeah.
Meredith said odd count wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. Smiley face.
It's
It's
just that
not
little
scary.
transition, and once you
Yes.
have it,
Yes,
you've got it.
And we will go that through several times. And I see someone.
Ginny says,
yes,
do you turn your work with each row?
I do turn
do
my
too.
work, but to explain to you and for you to see it better at the beginning, I'm not gonna turn my work, just for the beginning. And then as you get comfortable, you can turn your work. But I do tend to turn my work every time. So let's see on the graph paper now. So this is what we have. And Sherry, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I tend to do things a little differently.
Nope,
So
got it.
we have here those two beads, like in here, a one bead in the middle, and we're going up here, so we finish with that bead here. Okay, so this is what I did yesterday. I thought, how can I make things easier for you to see? So I had this on a sticky note, and I placed some arrows to the how can I say that, Sherry? I kind of
Sort of in line with the rows.
yes.
Mhm.
So here, I can see here, I did those two beads and I did that one in the middle. I'm sorry, we are here. Sorry. So I have those two beads and one in the middle here. And I need to place, let's see. I want to make sure that, okay, I have those two beads here, one in the middle and two beads here. So I need to place one bead here, which is this one here. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, so what I find out is I did this little thing. So I have those two beads here and I have my bead here. So what I'm doing is I'm placing, this is the bead that is already in my work. So I want to cover it. And I'm careful to cover the top of the others. And now I'm seeing, oh, I need that bead, and then that bead, and then that bead, and that bead, and that bead.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
Yes, very visual.
Okay, so let's try, and maybe you will see that better.
Yeah, I love that.
And I'm gonna bring my beads closer to me because I want you to be able to see both of them. So I'm seeing here, I need to put one bead here, so which is right here. So I'm bringing my bead. I had a bead on my needle, and I'm gonna go through the next bead here. And you see they all on top like that, so it's really easy to see where to put your next bead.
Lori's asking, how do Aikos compare to Delicas?
Okay, I work with Delicas, and Delicas are like the treasures. They square, they both really nice, but it happens once in a while that you have a bead that is not the same size than the others. With the Aiko, every single bead is the same size, and that's why I was so impressed about the Aiko. Okay, so now I need this second bead here, and you see you have, let me show you like that. So I have this teeny bead here, is right here, and I have a space here, and that's the beads that I want to add here. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Why am I having trouble? There we go. It is really hard in here, so I think that's why my fingers are a little slippery. So I'm taking another bead, and I want to add here in that space. And I like to pull once in a while. Oops. I have a space here, so this is where I'm bringing my bead. So I hope it's clear so far. And let me know if it's not.
Sandra says I call that an uppy bead.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Pat's asking, are Aiko's the same size as Delica's?
I think they are. Yes.
They're both
Mhm.
11.
11.
Yes, they are 11. Okay, so I'm done adding the last bead here. So what I do with my paper, I'm gonna bring my paper on top of this row here. So you see on top of this. Oh, but now I need
And
to
shift.
move my, I need to
Mhm.
shift my arrows a little. There we go. Because I need to add this bead and this bead and this bead. And you can even push like that a little more my paper. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So I'm adding this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So here I am. So I'm adding that bead, which is the first one here.
Catherine says, I do cross stitch, so I should be able to do this. Looks addicting.
It is, and
It
you know,
is.
it's after you get it, it's really relaxing. So I'm gonna bring my work this way to be able to hold it better. So I have here a space, which is that bead here. So I'm gonna add that. And you don't have to start, you know, if you want to do peyote stitch, you don't have to start with a pattern. You can even do something like that. I have no patterns in here. I just put the beads together. I just did a band in peyote, and I just practice like that.
Sandra says she loves the sticky sheet with the arrows.
Mhm.
You know, I keep thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, how can I make it easy for you to understand? Because again, I have another way to do it. And when I did that, I thought, oh, I need to show Sherry. What does she think? Okay, so now again, I'm at the end here, and I need to add that bead here. So there is a space here. But then, if you can see, sorry, Becky. So I have a space here, and I have a bead here. So I'm gonna go, you remember at the beginning when I went through 2 beads at the end? Because this is an odd count. So I'm going through the 2 beads that's left. And we're gonna do the turn like we did at the beginning too. And it's not that difficult, it's just a little step. So I need to finish that row because I have a bead here. And this is what I'm gonna be adding, because this is the row that I just did, and up I need a bead here. So we're doing the same like we did at the beginning, and I like to tighten everything again. I'm gonna go through the bead that is under here, like that, and then I'm gonna go through the bead beside it. Do you prefer that I'm on the mat?
You're on the mat.
Okay, like that. So just the bead beside, there, and I tied, and then so you see where my thread is coming out, and then I'm gonna go through the bead, the second bead on top. So like you said, Sherry, is like a crisscross.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, a little crisscross through the
So my
center
thread,
bead.
yes, so my
Mhm.
thread is in the middle. So now I want to be ready to add here a bead, so I'm gonna go down to the next bead. Like that. So now I'm taking my paper, so I did this bead, so I'm bringing my paper up, and again I'm going to switch my arrow, move my arrow a little, and now I need to eat this one, a black, and a blue, and a black, and a black. And what I like to do also once in a while is I like to count, okay, am I in the right place here? Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I like to count my beads as I go also.
That's a good idea. Yeah, just make sure you're
Yes.
you put that in the right spot and didn't accidentally move up an extra
Exactly.
row. Or,
So
yeah.
here I have 1, 2, 3 beads. So let's see here. I have to start in here. 1, 2, 3 beads. Yay! Everything looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna add a black bead. And then on the pattern it says another black bead. And this is where the fun starts.
Right. I was just going to say that.
Yes, when
Yay,
you
new
switch
color.
colors. And then here it's showing me a blue bead. So I have those really beautiful turquoise beads. So I'm adding in between here.
I'm doing turquoise too.
You do.
Yeah.
And then I go back to the black. And then another black bead. So this turn here is very easy because you have only one bead. You don't have to do the tricky part here, so you just add a bead here. So I'm gonna move my pattern again. So I did, now it's getting even easier because you can see that I did the blue bead. So I'm gonna move my arrow, and remember to shift the arrows also above my blue bead, the black bead, up. And I see that I need to add a black, a blue, black, and black. Let's do that. And I'm gonna bring my mat a little down because of my beads are too far from me. So a black bead here, and then it's gonna make sense. You after you do the first pattern, I don't even look at my design anymore. You can just look at the beads, and then you understand which one you need
Once
to put
that
next.
pattern has been
Yeah.
established, right?
Exactly. So far, is everything good? So I say a black here, a black here. Now I have a blue and a blue, so 2 blues. And you see how it makes sense here because you're starting to form the point,
Yeah.
the tip of it, yeah. And then on the pattern it says another blue. And then it's a black. So we're getting to the outcome term. So I need a black here, but I have 2 beads here. So I'm gonna go through those 2 beads.
Can you shift a little this way? 'Cause
This
you're
way?
over your black beads.
Oh,
there.
sorry.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a bead here, and I'm gonna go through those 2 beads at the top. And then my row is not done. You see I have 1 bead here, a bead, a bead, a bead, a bead. I need a bead here. So we're gonna add that bead, and it's supposed to be black. So I like to turn my work in front of me like that. So I've got my bead here. I'm gonna go down to this bead here.
Gail says, must try this.
Yes, you must. You will have so much fun. So my bead is placed, but I need to secure it, and I need to go back, and then so I'm in that bead here. I'm gonna go to the next one. So here is where my needle is. And then I'm gonna go back up to this one. And remember, this video will be on our site on YouTube, so you can watch it again and again. And then I'm gonna go to that first bead because I need to be ready to do the next row.
Cute.
Isn't that cute? So let's bring the pattern again. We added those beads. We added those 2 blue, so I'm gonna go above and shift my ring. So above those 2 blues, there. So that means I need a black, a blue, a pink. Yay! A new color. A blue and a black. Like I said, this is where the fun starts. It's when you can do things like that.
I mean, it's so funny, but it really is. It's so
It
silly.
is, yes. So let's start with the black here. And then, like I said, you kind of just look at the design and you kind of know that, yes, this is going to go this way and like that. So you need a blue here. Kind of makes sense after a while. But this is a tricky part where sometimes I don't pay attention because I'm watching TV and I miss the center. You have another center here. And if you look at the pattern here, so I added the black and the blue, and now it's a pink here, which is
Sylvia's suggesting to turn the paper this way.
yes. So let me yes, so I want to I'm gonna do another row like that, and then I'm gonna turn the paper the other way. And Sylvia, this is the way how I do. I turn the paper actually because it makes more sense for me. But
Oh, Leslie says this is the first time she has gotten to view live.
oh, cool.
Oh,
Well, thank you for watching us. Yes. So I did here the pink. You see, I did this one. So I'm gonna move my arrows and shift again. And this is where I need to add. So like Sylvia said, what I like to do actually, I read my pattern this way. So when you do something that easy, I mean the pattern is not too complicated, I think it's okay to read this way. But if you have like a big bracelet and you have a lot of pattern, lot of design, it might be easier to go vertically.
And I think it depends on how you hold your work.
Yes, also.
I hold my work vertically.
You do?
So yeah, I build up away from me,
Okay.
and so I keep my pattern that way. But you hold yours at an
Yes.
angle.
So let's show what Sherry's talking about. So
Okay.
Sherry's read the pattern this way because she holds her
Sorry.
because she holds her work.
I hold my
The
work
same
this
way.
way, and I stitch this way, and then I flip it and I stitch this way. So I keep my work vertical,
Yes.
and so I keep my pattern vertical.
Yes.
And so that works best for me.
Yes.
But
and
everybody's
me,
different.
yes. And me, I tend to go to work this way because I hold my work this way. So I'm kind of following like that the colors because I'm going this way. If that makes sense. So you have to choose which way you hold your work. But I prefer to do that way. And I usually also gonna flip my work, but I'm gonna stay like that because I always do from top to bottom. So I always constantly flip. But to make things easier for you, I'm just gonna stay like that and go from the same direction. So now if I look at my work, I need a black one, and then a blue, and then a pink. So let's do it. So I need a black one here. And then a blue one. And you can see that's going to be the line here. So I need a blue here. And then we're changing colors. So this is where if you watch TV, just stop and look at your pattern. Because here I need a pink one. So I'm going to add that pink here. And if you look at the design, I need another pink here.
Sherry's asking, are there any additional patterns for rings? Where can I find them?
We have, sorry, now I need the blue. We have several, like the rings that we show at the beginning, we have different patterns. So you can go on our site, artbeads.com, and go on in our design studio, and you can search rings, and you will see all those rings that we made for Peyote Stitch. Sherry made some too, they were really cute. So here I'm getting to the top again, where I have those 2 beads. This is the odd count. So I'm gonna go through those 2 beads. It took me a while to do an outcome peyote stitch because I was always intimidated by this turn here. And when you do it several times, then it's fine.
Susie's asking, is there a method to sizing the ring by using the number of rows?
You know, so this is tricky because I'm not sure how to measure those rings.
The bead sizes vary also.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
So what I do a lot of time, I know for myself, for that fingers, I know that I need 37 rows. And then, so on my graph paper, I do a first bead here, and I do a line and I count 37 square, and I finish here. Like that, I know my pattern will be inside this length. And when I do my ring, once in a while, what I do is to make sure, you know, I just bring my ring like that and I just look this way. I mean, it's really difficult. I think those ring size is not like a normal ring, because like you said, the rings are the beads are
vary,
different.
yeah.
So
And you need to be able to zip the rows together. So you
Yes.
need to end with linking ends.
Yes.
Right?
yes.
Could you use
You-
a ring mandrel if you're making it for someone else?
Yeah, a flat mandrel. A flat, like if you have a mandrel that is all one size. Many mandrels are tapered, and you can, measure to the size you need, definitely. If you have a flat
Yes.
mandrel, you can actually stitch around it if it's the right size. But
Cindy's
Yeah.
asking, do they stretch with wear?
So I had one that stretched, yes, because I was washing my hands and I didn't pay attention that the water was on my ring, and then it did stretch. So I lost a ring like that. The other thing that I want to say is I tend to make those rings at night, and I bead a lot. So that means that my fingers getting a little more inflamed, and I realized that I used to make a ring that had 38 rows, and then the next morning the ring was too loose. So that's why I'm doing 37 to make sure it's really tight on my fingers. And it was so funny. I couldn't believe it, but yes, your fingers kind of go up and down,
up and
like
down,
that,
they do.
I guess.
They do.
Yes. So I'm going to my next row. So here I did two pink. So I'm gonna go above those 2 pink and bring the arrows. I'm switching my arrows. So 2 pink as here, like that. So, and look at here, I'm thinking, yeah, that's right. So I added my my black here. You know what?
We're going to go for that very first new bead color
Yes,
in the
so
center.
this is where I'm like, okay, did I make a mistake? So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's right. So this one is done, and I'm going to the next blue bead. Yes, and then it's gonna be a white in the middle. There we go.
That first color.
Yes, so count once in a while. If you're not sure, count your bead. This is the best way to see if you did things right or not.
Leslie's asking, have you tried making a ring with stretch cord?
No. No. I wonder. I really wonder. I don't know. What do you think, Sherry?
If it'll be strong enough. I think
Yeah.
that you just need to find the right stretch cord size for the beads you're working with.
Right.
With fine beads, it needs to be a finer cord. The finer the stretch cord, will it be durable enough? But I think it's worth a try. Would be nice to have a stretch ring.
Yeah. So I added my white bead here, and then I have a pink, and then I have a blue. And then I'm going to the next row.
I think you
Yes.
need a pink, don't you? Oh, no, you
No, it's a perfect. Yes. So then I need to switch it. And really at the end, I mean, you won't have to use that after a while when you know how to do it. So I added that white here, so I'm gonna go above the white and see. There we go. So now I need a blue. I'm down here. I need a blue.
Uh-oh, my boo-boo.
Oh.
I'm going backwards.
So
Catherine's asking how much thread do you start with so that you don't run out during the project?
you're gonna run out during the project.
Yeah.
You have to. Is it about a yard, Sherry? Because I don't know
A
measurement.
wingspan, one like arm length to other shoulder
I'll show what
is
Sherry's doing.
Ta-da!
That much.
This is about a yard from shoulder to fingertip. And it's just whatever you're comfortable with. I don't like having to add thread a whole lot, so I like to do a lot of thread. Sometimes I'll do 2 of those, but it depends.
It's yeah.
Like right now we're sitting pretty close.
Yes.
I was kind of wishing I didn't have so much thread.
So this is what I'm here now. I did the pink, and I need to. No, sorry, I didn't do the pink one yet. So I'm gonna do the pink one, and I'm gonna go through those 2 beads again. We're gonna do this turn, the odd count turn, and at the top I need a blue, because you see here it does say I need a blue. So I'm gonna go with a blue. Again, I'm going down the next bead. I'm gonna go on the side, bead on the side, and then on the top. By the way, if you want to know how to add thread, recently we did didn't we show in a video how to add thread?
Yes. So the last Artbeads Cafe live, I think you showed how to add thread, and
Right.
then there was another one where you showed how to add thread again, and we have a tutorial on our website as well.
Yes. So I move my arrows, and I need to do a pink, white, 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 pink. It's pretty easy to add a thread on Peyote Stitch, so you can check those videos. So you see, I'm barely looking at my design because I'm thinking, okay, I'm just following lines here. So here I know it's going to be a white, since I have to do a line for the white. And I'm getting to a middle here, but if I look at my design, it's still white. I have a lot of white here, and I actually, sometimes I like to count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those white before I change colors here.
Dorothy's asking, I came in late. Will the full video be offered?
Yes, this video is going to be on our Facebook, on our website, artbeads.com, and it will be also on our YouTube channel. So you can watch it at the beginning, and if you need to watch it over and over and over, it's fine too.
So I do this a lot.
Okay,
and
what did you do,
I'm not
Sherry?
even watching TV right now. Wrong color here. There we go.
Okay, so I want to show again. Here I finish with this pink. So I'm taking my paper, and I'm going to go above that bead that I just added, and I'm switching my arrow. So I know now I need a pink, white, 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 and pink. I would like to ask everyone, does that make sense with the arrow? Is that something easy for you to understand?
Someone said you should trademark it.
Yes. How do we call that? The Cynthia arrows. And it's, again, I'm holding my work this way, and after a while you will find your own way to hold your work.
Danielle says the arrows are awesome.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
glad
they're
that
great
makes
addition.
things easy. Okay, so I'm doing the funny turn here, and remember this is my row is not done here. I still need one more bead like it shows on my pattern there, and it's a pink one, so my thread goes here.
Susie says, I'm going to try 15 out beads and see what happens.
Do it. It'll be beautiful.
It will be beautiful.
It'll
And
feel so good.
yes, and the thing is, the smaller the beads are, the more intricate pattern you can do. Because when they're really small, then you can make rounds, you can make, that would be fun. That would be fun. Okay, so now, it's not a white that I need to add. So I'm going to take my pattern again. I added that bead, so I'm going to go above that bead, move my arrows, and you see here, I need a pink. So if you look at my design here, I have one pink here, two pink here, because now I'm going to start the line going this way. So I'm adding, I say pink, but it's actually burgundy, and then it's just white, because remember I need 4 whites in the middle. So I'm going to go a little faster because I really want to show you how to close that ring. So if you have more questions, please ask now. Okay, I have, yes, I'm making a mistake here. I'm not looking at my design. I need a pink, because like I said, it's 1 pink, 2 pink here. So I almost added a white. There. And now, yes.
Lanny's asking, at your speed, how long does it take you to make a ring?
It takes me between 1.5 hours to 2 hours to do one. And the reason why I know it is because I watch a movie at the same time. When I watch TV at night, I cannot just do nothing. I have to do something, so I bead.
Can I show something?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm moving. Yes, go ahead, Sherry.
Sorry. You, go ahead and make your move.
Okay, so now as you can see, I'm doing a blue one because I have here 1 pink, 2 pinks. So the next one beside that pink here, it's a blue one. And then we're going to start doing blue. Yes, Sherry.
Okay, so I just did something that happens every once in a while, and if you're new to this, you might not realize it until it's happened, but I've put this little pink bead, and I want it to go into its little notch, and I'm pulling it, and it's just not going in there. And it is because I have pierced the thread of my loop. So I don't know if you can see that, but my needle went right through that.
You split the thread.
I split the thread, so that has to come off.
Yes, and you have to take your needle off and everything.
Needle off.
Yes. So here I did the blue. I'm doing the pink, and then it's white, 2 whites. So I'm starting to do the other side.
Lainey asked if I'm feeling better. I am. Thank you, Lainey.
Yes.
We sound better too.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
have the
that's true.
sick rasp.
And then it's a pink one, and I'm doing a little trick here, a turn, and I do need a blue one to finish that row. So I'm going faster now, but again, you can go back to the video whenever you want. Okay, so now I have the blue here. Okay, so sorry. So now we're going to start to do the next one. So I'm seeing I have a blue here, and if I look at my pattern, like I say, I don't even use this anymore. I look at my pattern, I have blue, pink, blue, blue, 2 pink, and the next is blue.
But somebody should be looking at the pattern.
I know.
Because, and I mean me, because I just goofed again. I'm going further and further backwards. My ring is getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
So the thing that I like to do also,
Oh,
like I say,
goodness.
is I count my beads. So in the middle here, I have one white. Now I have two whites here. 1, 2, 1, 2. So I know that my next one is just a pink. So again, I'm not even using the arrows anymore. And here I have 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, and the next one, it's a white one. And after you do this, it becomes, you don't even need a pattern anymore if you do a lot of those rings. And I've done a lot of them. And here I can see I have two here. So it's gonna be a pink one. So I have the white here, okay? Is the last one here, and a pink. And if I go down, it has to be a blue.
Lainey said, Sherry, your ring can turn into an earring. It's getting shorter and shorter.
It may be. I was just saying, don't anybody ask me how long it takes me to make a ring.
So
Today, slow.
yeah, so you keep going this way, and so at the beginning, just use these. And like I say, you shift your arrows as you're going, and it makes things easier and easier. So then I want to show you, let's talk about this design. Then you just keep going with blacks. And here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of blacks. So you can stop here, put the ring on your finger, see if it's too, if there are too many beads, just take the beads out. If you feel like it's too tight, just add some more. So that's why I love just using a plain color, one color like that, the size. You can play with the size. So I want to show you how to put those beads, the ring together. So here, this is a bigger, sorry, it got tangled, everything got tangled
Cynthia,
here.
before you start, could I have the scissors, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
There we go. So this is a 8-aught peyote band that I made because I wanted you to see better how to do this. So a lot of time when you're done, your tail is on one side and your thread is at the other side. You see, they are not on the same side because here you should have a bead that is how do you call that, Sherry? An inside bead?
Mm-hmm.
You see, you have an up bead here and a
Down.
bead.
Down bead, up or down, inside.
But on the other side, I have a up bead, and then when I put this together, it will be like a zipper, right?
Mm-hmm.
They should.
That's kind of the fun part.
That's the fun part, actually. They should align like that. Okay, so I have a down bead and a up bead, a down bead, and then you can cross them. Okay, so very, very easy to close that. So I'm coming out of my down bead. I'm gonna go inside my up bead on the other side.
Danielle says this is her favorite step.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going back to the bead. So you want to tie those two together like that. Then I'm going back to the black bead and I'm going to the next bead down, the brown bead. Okay. And you tie it. So my thread is here coming out to the brown bead. And you see beside, it's going to be that up bead that is kind of a silver. So I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. So what I'm doing is I'm making a loop like that. And you tie it. And I'm going to go again down to that brown bead. And that's bring those two beads together. And I hope you can see it nicely. So now I'm going to go down to the silver bead. And that one has to join to that black bead here. Again, I'm going to kind of make a circle with my thread. Whoops. And you tie. And I'm going back to that bead, and I'm gonna go step by step, a bit easier, and I tie it, and you see how everything starts to get together.
It's zipping.
It's zipping.
It is zipping.
And again, think about you just making rounds like that. So I make a round here, then I go to this one and I make a round here, and I go to this one and I make a round. So let's do that. Oops.
Sorry, this thing doesn't like going too low.
So this is a black bead, and I go to the one in the front of it. And then I go back to the black bead. Now I tied it, and I go to the next one that is down, and the bead next to it is this one. That, and then I'm going back.
Katie said, Becky was just checking to make sure you were all still awake. Yes. Pay attention, class.
Going back to the red one, and then to the brown that is beside. So you see I'm just doing some circle around those beads, like that. Going down to the next one. Oops, I lost my needle. And then to the one on the other side that is beside. Pull, go back to that, and then to the brown bead here, and then to the black, I'm going back to the brown and tight. You see everything looks so nice, and
I
then the
love that
last
part.
one, yes, because it's you finish
So
it.
satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Done, and I go back to the black one because you want to make sure that it's tight. And then what I do, I'm gonna weave my thread inside the bead. So I'm just going up, and there is no special way to do this. Just make sure that, so I usually I go up like that several rows, and then I'm going down to just make sure it's secure. And sometimes I'm going up like that, and you shouldn't have any trouble with those. And that's it. And do the same with that thread too. So you just go up and down and zigzag just to make sure that it's secure. And then you can just cut your thread. I want to show you quickly. This is a Aiko ring that I'm making, and I want to show you how beautiful it is when you put everything together. That's the magic
They
of the
almost snap,
Aiko.
huh?
Yes. So again, my tail is on one side, it's down. Here it's up. So I have a down bead and an up bead on the other side, and let's do this way. So when I put them together, they should zip together. So it is really, really small, but I just wanted to show you how beautiful it is with the Aiko. So I went to like that. I'm going back to the brown bead.
Mary says, I'm already dreaming of adding things to dangle from the rings.
Oh yes,
Mhm.
and you can decorate your rings after the border, on the border. Look at that, it's beautiful.
It is. Right. It just snaps together. Practically.
Yes. So then I'm going to that blue bead and the brown bead that is beside it. And sometime here I have two colors of bead, but sometime I have just one color and I cannot remember which one is which one. So you just open a little like that. Say, okay, that's the next one that is at the end. So and that's it. And look how perfect it is, and so beautiful.
Love that.
Love those rings. There we go, Sherry.
Yay!
How did you do?
Well, I got this far. I think it's pretty.
It is. And you know, the Aiko, of course, is going to take longer to do than with the beads that I showed, because they're much smaller.
And because you keep going backwards. But no, I kept going backwards. You won't do that.
Well, thank you for joining us today. I really hope you enjoyed that video. I love making those rings. Like I said before, yes, you can always decorate them. Here, I did a picot edge on this one, so it's just a band, and then I added 3 beads at the end, like this one too. So there is many ways you can decorate those rings. But if you want to practice, just practice with one color, and then you can start with a pattern. Remember this?
Yeah.
I thought that was
Great tip.
I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
Yes, and hope you have fun with those rings. It's really, really, I make them all the time, and I think even Becky and Sherry, you make them
A
too.
little bit. Yeah, Becky for sure.
Yes.
I'm wearing some.
Yeah.
If you have more questions, please keep asking your questions. Becky will be there to answer, and Katie too. And well, we see you next time. And thank you again so much for joining us today on Artbeads Cafe. Again, make sure to subscribe to our newsletters, because this is where you remind you the next video and our promotion. And we have a lot of good things on our side. So thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. À bientôt.
Bye-bye.